My 30 wife, 28, wants to quit her stable job to pursue a hobby she's no training in. I'm a 30th / am completing a medical residency in 18 months. My wife, 28, is currently employed as a computer programmer with a company she's grown to hate. She is quitting in a month, which I think makes sense. No kids. She says she's pretty burned out, which I totally get. Working from home without a lot of social interaction during COVID has definitely taken its toll, and the work isn't what she imagined she'd be doing when she took the job 2.5 years ago. Presently, she's saying she wants to take a few months off after quitting and has the finances to do so. Let's say she's up at $20,000 available in addition to some help from me. However, she's quitting without having another job lined up and would like to focus on a hobby for the foreseeable future. Writing a book. She has no formal training as an author and really hasn't invested any amount of time into this over the past 6 months. Just keeps saying it's what she'd like to do. Over the next 18 months, I would be unable to transition to solely supporting us due to my fixed residence salary. The whole thing makes me feel a bit uncomfortable because I feel like at this stage in our lives, building income towards a home down payment, retirement, continuing to build emergency funds, and having insurance is essential. By quitting and not having any source of income for months into the future, she would be making zero contribution to these things that seem really important to me and seem to be typical things basic financial advice people recommend. I realize they may not hold the same priority. We've discussed that I'm not sure this feels like a good idea several times, and she leaves the convo upset. I want her to quit, refresh, and find something else and not stifle her creativity. But going without additional income for many months at a time seems like a danger zone. But is what she really wants. Do I need to readjust my line of thinking to be less uncomfortable? Is there anything different I can be doing to try and support her? Anyone with real-life examples of this working out? Too long, don't read. My wife wants to quit a steady job to try and be an author over several months without any backup job lined up, and this makes me uncomfortable. Update. This got more popular than I would have expected. Thank you so much for the many people with many points of view who have commented. One of my flaws I realized in reading these responses is that I'm conflating her burnout from work with her desire to write. We spoke about this at length this afternoon, and I think what she's looking for is a nice sabbatical, which others in programming endorse, and which she certainly has the finances for. We both are open to lots of discussion, and that process will continue as we go forward. Some things need to be taken day by day, and this is one of them. And she leaves the convo ups. I know a few writers, but also musicians. Most of them usually started out with their writing projects on the side, while having a job that pays their bills. Do I need to readjust my line of thinking to be less uncomfortable? Is there anything different I can be doing to try and support her? Anyone with real-life examples of this working out? For how long is she planning to do this? Does she just want to relax? Or does she actually want to publish a book? Has she talked to writers to inform herself about how things work? If she wants to do this, she should be able to talk about worst-case scenarios too. I code for a living too. It definitely sounds like your wife is suffering from some burnout, and some time off to refresh could do her good. Has she looked into doing contracting for companies as being a full-time employee that would allow her to set her own hours while bringing in income? Having worked in tech as an engineer myself, I have known plenty of people who've taken sabbaticals and had no issue finding work after. Depending on company culture, some places actually value time away to grow on yourself, etc. Like I knew a guy who took a year off to travel the world. I know someone else who built a bunch of tiny huts in the woods and is working again without issue. I'm currently on a year-long sabbatical to write as well after being burnt out, and still I've had recruiters coming for me years, even during the pandemic. It sounds like your wife is burnt out, so asking her to write / to pursue her hobby on top of the job she hates and that is draining her isn't going to work, because she's going to become more drained and stretch them. She says she wants a few months off. This is not unreasonable in her industry. Everyone's comments seem to be focused on how unrealistic it is for her to become a published author. But from what you wrote, she didn't say she wants to become a full-time author. Just that she's burnt out and wants some time to do something else for a bit. Doesn't sound like she's being unrealistic about what she wants out of this experience. She has even put away money to do this and has an end date in mind. Personally, I'm with your wife on this one. Would it bring you peace of mind to have conversations about what happens after those 4 months are up, or if you lose your job? Who gets it? Would she be willing to look for a job? Would you feel better if she saved a little more before taking time off? She is burnt out. You are anxious. I hope you'll both be able to have a productive and caring conversation about this.